Hello, Villain Vice Squad, and welcome back to another episode of Robloxian Stories. And we are going back to normal with 3 Roblox horror stories. I hope you do enjoy, because today I'm telling you 3 Burger Barn horror stories you shouldn't tell in the dark. Let's go. Story 1. Night Creeper. Usually, I would take up night shifts at the local Burger Barn. Oh, that sounds a little strange, but all I really did was just take orders. I didn't have to talk to any of the other customers about anything else. It was the end of one of those night shifts, and I decided to clock out for the evening. My daughter Veronica had a soccer game that evening, and my wife Charlotte expected me to be there. I clocked out for the evening and I was heading to my car. I then noticed a white, rusty-up van with the words free candy in one of the parking spots. And I was like, yo, are you serious? You're trying to kidnap me? Dude, I'm way smarter than that, you idiot. But then I saw a man in all black coming out. I tried to run, but he was too fast for me. Before we drove off, he bound my arms and legs with some rope. But he didn't realize I had my phone in my pocket. This was my worst nightmare. I'd always heard about kids getting kidnapped on the news, but never had it happen to me before. Where are we going? I asked.
Shut up, goddammit, or you'll never see your family or friends again, you hear me.
Why? I had asked.
I told you to shut the f*** up.
This time I stayed silent. I then remembered the watch I was wearing had a camouflage feature, so I turned it on and I said, "Hey Siri, text Heller." "What would you like to say to Heller?" Siri said, "Hey Hank, I'm being kidnapped. It's in a white van that's very rusty and it says the words free candy on it. Please send over the police or maybe you guys. That would be a huge help. Thank you." Instantly responded with, "Okay, sending the police over there now." The kidnapper then said,
"We're here. Get your ass out of the car."
He then took me to what looked like an abandoned shed. He was holding me like a kid, and he said, "Can I get you anything to drink?" I decided to play along with the joke, and I said, "Some warm milk and some cookies." And he said, "Okay, I'll get those for you in a jiffy." And then he picked me up and put me on a stool. Then he tied my hands to the roof, or the ceiling, and then tied my legs down. Then my heart stopped as he began to take off my shirt and then my shorts. I knew what he was doing. He wanted me to be naked so that he would be able to punch me in more sensitive areas and I would scream more. He was about to take off my undergarments when suddenly he heard some sirens. "Did you call the cops on me?" he asked. "No," I said. "It must have been the neighbors across the street." And he was like, "I don't have any neighbors." And I was like, "It was probably your cat then." And then he said, "Okay, first of all, you are a terrible liar. Second of all, you're the only one who has access to a phone." It was true. I still had my phone in my pocket, which was in my pants, which he had just taken off. And then the police kicked down the door, and a big swarm of police officers came rushing in and arrested everyone. Hank was just untying me when suddenly the man was getting away. I grabbed my pistol and put back on my clothes, and I ran after him. We were running, and he was about to climb over a fence, but then I shot him. He was dead. And Charlotte said I was right on time because my kid's soccer game was just starting, so I got a front row seat and watched for the rest of the night, not afraid of kidnappers. Story 2. Wendigo Worker. This one day, I was working my casual day shift, nothing too natural, at a Burger Barn. "Next," I said. Then I saw this guy looking naked, but then I realized it was just a black bodysuit. Then I asked him, "Hey, what's going on? What would you order?" He said his name was Wendigo Worker, and he ordered a little burger. Later, I was taking some people's drive-thru orders, and then I must have not been very careful, because then I saw the thing from 99 Nights in the Forest, and I realized it must have been Wendigo Worker. I told him it was a great joke, and that I really did fall for it, but he didn't laugh. Then I realized it was real. And then he ate me for some reason, which was stupid. Why do all my stories involve me nearly dying? Story 3. Weird ass. So this one time I was just chilling at Burger Barn waiting for my food to arrive. But it never did. In frustration, I asked the worker what was happening and why my food was taking so long. He said that he was one of the only workers in the whole store because his wife had left him and the other guys had already left for the night. I was beyond furious and wanted to hit somebody. But luckily the man was saying that if I brought my patient pants, I would have been able to leave the store happily because the food would be ready in a jiffy. But nah, bringing your patient pants is only for losers, so I shot the guy. And that was the story of how I got arrested for the first time. I sure hope you enjoyed this episode of Robloxian Stories, because next week it will be the last episode I will do on Robloxian horror stories, and now I'm going to be doing crimes. We will be discussing a lot of very violent and gruesome crimes, and I will not be the main character of all those crimes, trust me. So next week will be the last episode on 3 Roblox horror stories and pretty much everything else, and then the episode after that will be all crimes and other stuff. Also guys, comment down below on this video if I should make Robloxian crimes a whole separate podcast. Comment down below because I really need some ideas. I don't know what to do. Anyway, have a good day, you guys. I'll see you in the next one.